Well, a very good evening, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, ZMH 286, and it is 5:15, just in time to start our, well, I can't say it's daily or weekly. It's 3 times a week now, whilst we're in this very quiet month of August.
Flexible time.
Flexible time. It's a pretty miserable night here, actually, in Gulf Harbour Radio, just north of Auckland. It's been sort of occasional showers all day. It's 16 degrees, which I suppose is not too bad. 85% cloud cover, 15 knots from the southwest, and a bar of 1022.9. And we are in lockdown still. Actually, New Zealand is now, all of New Zealand is in lockdown for a week, starting last Tuesday. So that announcement came today. Let me tell you why. Well, we have 3 COVID cases in Wellington now, in addition to the ones up here in the Auckland area. So 31 in total, actually 32 in total, but the other one has come from Tokyo by air. The 31 in total are in fact, and this is really good news, they are in fact all from the one person who came from Sydney with it. And the various contacts that he made in New Zealand, and particularly around the Auckland and Coromandel area. And also, unfortunately, the room next to him at the Crown Plaza, when he was in lockdown, those people have got it as well. So sadly, they are still in lockdown. Anyway, it has been a case of test. 28,000 COVID tests yesterday, 24,000 in Auckland. The queues are miles long everywhere because these people have been out and about in the community. All of their contacts have been out and about in the community. So we are expecting that the cases will grow. As I mentioned, all the genome sequencing says it is from the original case that came into the country from Sydney on the 8th of August. So that's a big job for the health system, but so far it is a thought that we might get on top of it. The interesting thing is, and this is not just from New Zealand, but coming from the UK and other places, those that have been vaccinated, and fully vaccinated I'm talking about, have the same virus loading as those that are unvaccinated. So these people, they don't know they've got COVID, but they can certainly pass it on. So that makes it really difficult for those that are trying to stamp it out. So moving on from New Zealand, where we will stay in lockdown, Fiji have unfortunately got a problem on their hands too. The Ministry of Health has been testing the primary contacts of the COVID-19 case in Nabuwalu in Vanuatu, and so far they haven't found any other people. And by the way, thanks to whoever contacted Windsong, they are now on the north coast of Viti Levu. Kendavu, unfortunately, they had somebody illegally going from Suva to Kendavu, bringing COVID with them. So all shipping has been suspended for a week, all shipping services starting today. It is in the COVID cases in Raki in Yale at the, I think it's the Gazelle Nursing Zone or whatever it's called. So they've got a big containment zone around them for 14 days. So it is now out of just Viti Levu. Sadly, some officials have been selling, this is in Fiji still, selling vaccination cards and the Ministry of Health stamps. So that's not going to help the opening up of the tourist business, which was planned for December. That's based on the vaccination program, which is still going quite well. Going over to Australia, New South Wales is now in lockdown for another month. They're really getting a lot of cases each day, 642 the last 24 hours. Victoria has a spike in new cases, and interestingly down there, 89 of those cases the last 24 hours, which is 26%, are under the age of 10. 72 cases are between 10 and 19. So it's no longer a worry just for the elderly. The young people are getting affected, but not so seriously as the elderly in terms of death rates. Queensland has just got one case. They have very strong border restrictions now for the ACT, New South Wales, Northern Territory and Victoria. It's very, very hard to get into Queensland. They want to try and make that hard for the COVID Delta variety as well. So I hope you all are enjoying your boating, because we have no boating here, of course. At least this time we are allowed to go down to the boat, so long as we are masked. There's very strict mask wearing rules now, but you are not allowed to take your boat out. You are not allowed to surf or do anything in the water, actually. So I've just had a look at where all the boats are. We have got a lot of people moving around. I see there's been quite a bit of action, really. There are a couple of boats heading towards quite close to Savu Savu from the east, Beaver and REB. So a couple of more boats to check in there. So nothing much more happening from down here, of course. Nothing happening because of the shutdown. So that's news. It's not very good news, is it? But at least there is a glimmer of hope if everybody is behaving themselves in New Zealand. And they certainly are trying to get tested. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people are lining up to get tested because the trouble has been that all these people with the positive COVID have moved around an awful lot before the shutdown. All right, that's about the news from here, such as it is. Let's see what David has for you for the weekend.
Yep, hello again from the weather desk here. The main player in the synoptic picture is the Tasman High, big old high, which by tomorrow will be centered directly over New Zealand. And pressure is strong, will be strong. I would estimate about 1030 millibar by lunchtime tomorrow. There are two lows now sitting on the northeast corner of this high up towards you guys. One is sending a frontal band to Vanuatu. Its axis is just to the south of Fiji, so there'll be some cloud and whatnot that will probably extend to Fiji itself, so don't be surprised if you see a fair amount of that. Anyhow, the other low is sending a trough over Tonga and on to Wallis and Futuna. It arcs then to the northwest. It goes on to Tuvalu and it goes on to the Solomons. Now that one's on the move. This trough is expected to drift southwest to affect Fiji's northeastern route, the northeast part of Fiji. So by tomorrow, expect cloud and showers over the northeast parts of Vanuatu and the Lau group. Cloud and showers may extend really to all of the larger islands, including Kandavu and Taveuni. So all of that is from that moving trough. Not a real vicious one by any stretch, but it's there. More than likely, this is going to continue through Sunday as well. So as of today, Fiji Met has issued a strong wind warning for Kandavu and Vatuyura Pass. Expect winds there to be southeast 20 to 25 knots, plus rough seas and moderate southerly swells. For the rest of Fiji waters, they expect southeast winds about 15 to 20, with moderate to rough seas as well. And this is going to be through Sunday. Now, my wind forecast, usually I give mine as well as what Fiji has to say, but I'm pretty much in agreement with them this time, with Fiji Met, with the exception that I think on Sunday the winds will be closer to southeast than southeast. Either way, they're not strong, so you're not going to have any real worries. Vatuyura, that pass, that will continue to be fairly windy, so watch out for that one. I don't see as much wind around Kandavu as Fiji Met says. I'd say 15 to 20 and not the 20 to 25 there, but anyhow, it could happen. Now, obviously, if you get underneath one of these CBs, these big high clouds that are going to dump a fair amount of rain, the wind comes with it, and you'll have gusts. So really, that's about the story wind-wise. And I don't talk about the wind shadow areas as an example. Vidi Levu, those of you that are in, say, the northern Yasawas are going to be fairly well protected from these stronger winds. The southern Yasawas probably will have a little bit more wind, but there are quite a few wind shadow areas, as you would guess, with a southeast wind. If you're on the northwest side of these islands, it'll be a little bit calmer. And that's it for me. I'll pass it over to the chief. So y'all have a good weekend.
Yeah, I was just trying to find, but our charts are not detailed enough, the name of the bay that's just to the northwest of you, not tied down in Vingalot. It's an interesting bay we went into, which you shouldn't do, in the dark, and found that after we had touched the bottom, that we found out that British chart covering that area, the chart is absolutely perfect in all features except for the fact that it's a mirror image. Somebody must have reversed the picture, and it's called Nassau Bay. I think David has just found it. Nassau Bay. Yes. Oh well, I've made a note in the book that we've got here. Nassau Bay, N-A-S-A-U. The chart that you will have, and CMAP is the same because it takes it from the British chart. That is totally reversed. Unless they've changed it since we were there.
Yeah,
didn't put a date on that, did I? Quite a while ago. All right, this is Gulf Harbour Radio. Is there anybody wanting to say hello? Please call now. Is it Vingalot? I think that sounded like you, Charles. And yes, I still haven't got my antenna back in Cairo. Believe it or not, my bit part that needs fixing got picked up here yesterday by the post office and has arrived up there today at 2 o'clock. So that system is working well. But anyway, good evening, Charles. Over. Well, sadly, I didn't get any of that. It's very poor propagation tonight. There is a lot of noise, probably because of our weather affected as well. But yes, it's a very, very noisy signal from you, Charles, and I'm not able to pick up anything. And I can't remember whether there is a signal from your bay or not in terms of the internet. But anyway, I've got where you and Not Tied Down are from the AIS, which is good. But sadly, I haven't been able to understand anything because the propagation from there is just not good enough. Was anybody else listening, and can anybody relay from a better position? I'll stand by. Nothing heard. We always do appreciate immensely any relays from people. It's the only way we can help you if we can't hear a particular station. We do our best to be able to hear, and I have 2 antennas, but one is out of action at the moment. That would give me a better copy on sailing vessel Vingalot. All right, if no one's able to pick up their microphone, I'll just have to say my apologies to you, Charles, and we'll hopefully have the radio back in time for Monday. Is there anybody else? Other than that, I will wish you all a very good weekend. Standing by. got a bit of that. Thanks, Charles. Yeah, it's all very quiet in New Zealand at the moment. No traffic, and haven't been near the shops. We don't need to for at least a week. But yeah, it is quite peaceful, I'd have to say. Okay, well, enjoy quite a different set of circumstances up there, and do stay safe, everybody. And we will be back again on Monday. Cheers, everybody, and thanks for letting us know you're there, Charles. Hope everyone is having a good time. This is Gulf Harbour Radio Clear.